YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back with an Attila, or a Total War Attila online battle. This one was a Roman Civil War here, and my opponent did enable large armies, so that's why my army's so big. And I basically went for cheap infantry spam because the Armigeri Defensores are pretty good for the price, and was hoping that if my opponent spent money on more expensive units, then I might be able to whittle him down with health and time. Basically meaning that my aim was to just throw so many men at him that it would overwhelm him. So it's kind of a Zap Brannigan type strategy to just throw wave after wave of your own men to their deaths until the enemy's swarm arm becomes so tired that he collapses in the field, and then you should be able to do something about it. So yeah, we're playing on the plains, kind of a boring map here, but there's actually quite a few better looking, fairly balanced maps on Attila, so I'm not sure why everybody always gets off on the plains, but yeah, definitely spam here, but it's not a unit that's typically worried about as far as spam goes, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is. I think I've got 12 Armigeri Defensores, I've got a Magister Militum 2, a Scoli Platinite, so I'm trying to go lighter on Cav, and I've just got Levies Amaturae to support them, which is a pretty solid choice. My opponent is sending Comita Tensei Spears to support his 4 Tagmata Cav, so he definitely has an edge on me in the cavalry fight. And then up front, he's got some Armored Sagittari. Not particularly good archers for the price, just because of their range, and their armor is not really that impressive. So maybe a good unit to use in campaign. Don't really see the use for him here. He's got a couple of Levies Amaturae up front too. He's hoping to shower me with javelins. His infantry though is a whole bunch of Palatina, and these are not elite Palatina, so their attack is not insane. Their damage is okay, but they get like no charge bonus, and their health is only okay-ish. I don't know what these guys cost, but if it's much, then they're not worth it. It is definitely a cool looking unit, I'll give him that. Definitely a unit that's fun to look at here, but oops. Yeah, I mean, just I don't know what just happened there. Okay, yeah, so it tapped out of the game for a minute. So I have a Scout Equite too that can deploy anywhere. I brought this because I had a little funds, and I have it hidden way back here in the back of the map. It is visible on the radar map, but I figured it was so far back that either my enemy wouldn't care or would forget. And I'm keeping it for the chance to basically, whenever I bring my infantry up, I'll use it to go after his archers. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and move some Armigeri Defensores to the flanks to face off against his Comita Tensei Spearmen. And the Tagmata Cav, like I said, is way more than a match for my cavalry. Even in a nerf state, these guys should be far better than my Scoli Platinite. So my opponent's going to move up his Armored Sagittari. He's going to start firing at my Levies Amaturae and other units here. It won't do him a whole lot of good. I don't think any of this will really be worth his while. Again, cool looking units, but not sure I see the purpose of these guys really. Watch his Armored Sagittari put down some fire on my guys. My guys are moving forward in an attacking testudo. And honestly, I'm actually trying to bait a charge out of his Tagmata Cav or his Comita Tensei Spears. My guys would beat his Spearmen. I actually lost a guy while in testudo, that surprised me. Yep, so his Tagmata Cav's going to charge me. My guys won't do too well against it because it's just an attacking testudo. They'll still get absolutely wrecked. But you can see my Levies Amaturae now are just going to shower the Tagmata Cavalry with javelins. Give it to him, boys. So yeah, nice new blood effects at work here. So basically willing to sacrifice a cheap infantry to kill an expensive cavalry unit. I didn't quite get it as quick as I wanted, but it'll work out. On this flank it worked a little better for me. This Tagmata Cav is ruined, and then this Tagmata Cav wastes their charge on my Levies Amaturae, and then I quickly countercharge with the Scoli. So these guys are going to actually start eating it off the charge. Still going to be a tough fight. He's going to bring in his Comita Tensei Spears, and I'm going to peel off some additional Armigeri to come out here and support, just because I can, and my opponent's archers and javelin units stuff are going to cause very little damage head on into my attacking testudo. So he's wasting his ammo here. All these units are very, very much protected against his javelin fires. I mean, just get a look, basically. See the javelin fire in here and just bouncing off all the shields. So basically the fights on the flank, because my opponent's infantry is too far away to add more support, they're starting to swing into my favor. So see, like right here, Armigeri Defensore is going to get into the back of his Comita Tensei Spearmen and easily win that fight. It won't happen quickly, but they'll win it. and I've got my Magister Militum if necessary. Over here it didn't go quite as well for me, but I did manage to kill this Tagmata Cav, and then I've easily routed these Comita Tensei Spears, so I can reinforce against this Tagmata Cavalry. Basically I'll get a rear charge on it. And I go ahead and take these Levies Amatory out of fire wheel. It's really important to save the javelins on these units for proper targets like an enemy general. And again, the attacking Testudo here proving its worth. There is a savage amount of missiles coming in, and it's saving my guys from a lot of pain and suffering here. These guys, even in it, have taken some damage from all the fire. His Palatina's moving up. I'm going to keep my guys in attacking Testudo. I've given attack orders, so my guys are going to pop in here and actually go attack the Palatina. Now both of these are like charge-free units. They're going to do like nothing to each other on the charge. But we can watch the fighting between them nonetheless. It'll look quite cool. My Scout Equites at this point are coming into play. You can see that they're going to come back here from behind, so this is behind my opponent's lines. My Scout Equites are going to crash into these Armored Sagittari. So a cheap unit here doing wonders for me. And then over here I've got an Armigeri Defensori around the flank. This fight's going to take a long time in the center and be pretty indecisive, so basically my goal is just to clear up the flanks, move around, and start some rear charges. I've got an infantry unit ready to do so over here, and my cavalry will soon be free. And my Magister Militum's free, but I want to get after the enemy Magister Militum. He has chased my Scout Equites, and so I charge him with the Armigeri Defensoras. He countercharges, going to get a lot of kills, but then I should be able to either fire javelins or bring in my own Magister Militum here, which is what I decided to do. So, and then he's going to have to pull away, and he's throwing javelins in towards his own Magister Militum at mine. But the friendly fire is going to be bad because he's on the wrong side of those javelins. I've lined up this Armigeri Defensores for a rear charge, and these guys are so terrible at charging that I don't even know if the rear charge is going to do much. But surrounded, these Palatina are not going to be able to hold out here. Let's see if we can get any like decapitations or anything. Probably not, because the attack on these units is so horribly weak. Usually you get more decapitations and stuff with the high attack. So I think the enemy general just went down to one of his own javelins. So at that point, basically all the enemy units, the Palatina for sure, start wavering. These guys do not have the discipline trait. My Armigeri don't either. So it's something to be aware of, that not all the Roman units carry that trait, kind of like they did in Rome Total War, as opposed to Attila. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed getting some close-ups of some sweet action here. But essentially, that Roman civil war there landed in favor of my Western Roman spam army, the Armigeri spam. Those guys aren't particularly powerful in and of themselves, and again, you can see this Tagmata Cav got a lot of kills, just maybe not on units that was worth it. And then I quickly turned around and was able to take them out with my Scolai Palatini, which was extremely important. His archers and Levies Amatory just not able to pay back. And then these Comita Tensei Spears are a questionable choice. And the reason I say that is just because they do poorly against swordsmen. I know swordsmen do poorly against cav, but you can actually use the spearmen get killed just as bad on the charge, and they're not good against swordmen. So, I mean, a lot of times I feel like, I'm not saying it's bad to bring spearmen. A lot of times I just find it easier to bring some extra swordsmen as the Romans to try and get into a cav fight. But, I mean, the spearmen would potentially kill cav faster, so I don't know, just my preference, I guess. HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you back with some more multiplayer soon.